All right, day 16. Back to a safe space for me, the parking lot at Planet Fitness. I love this place. They're giving free showers, free access to their facilities for anyone affected from the fire. Even though I paid $400 over 4 years for my first shower here, I didn't have to. It could have been free, but I also just upped it to the nice membership so I can enjoy some amenities. One of those is I can bring a friend here for a workout. So whether it's a homie from the other side that I'm in lockdown with, or maybe someday I'll bring a girl here. What a great way to have a date. It's funny, I said that to a woman. She's like, oh, sounds so romantic. Sarcastically. Anyway, I thought that was funny. There's a lot to talk about. I've been stuck on the other side in this weird kind of unpleasant world of this, the Conopala Beach Hotel is now the outrigger, and there's some guy walking around like running the place, running the show, telling me he's the guy that told me I couldn't film, even though I was 2 feet away from where I could film. There was nobody around. He saw me on a camera, went way out of his way to come out on the edge of the property, tell me, you can't do that. It's weird. It's the opposite world, right? You're not allowed to take a picture. You're not allowed to film anywhere on the premises, right? Normally, all over a resort, that's all people do, right? There's no TV in the room, so it's just dead silent and weird. There's no internet, so no one can connect on their phones. It's, which is bizarre. There's 3 free meals a day, like you're, some kind of patient or a prisoner or something. Not this other. I'm not complaining. It's just weird and not a happy place. Everyone's crying. There's a few crazy people walking around, talking to themselves or whatever. And basically the whole property, even though it's on the beach, on the most beautiful place in the world, is basically a super sad and depressing place. It's like one friend calls it rehab and whatever. And anyway, I tried to buy a CD player so I could watch CDs and put on my grandpa's CDs and make films of those for my YouTube channel, but they're all sold out at both Target and Walmart. Just went to Walmart, Target, and Costco. Today I surveyed, and yesterday, different parts of the west side for resources. I'll give you a report on that. I'm going to finish that story I was working on my last video that's uploading right now. I have fast uploading times here, so it's the only way I can really get anything uploaded. I was trying to upload this video. I just uploaded 41 minutes long, okay? It took me 3 days and I never even finished. I was only at like 80% when I finally came here and finished. I think it's finishing right now. And then I tried making another one, and then that got interrupted by the camera police. And so I'm uploading that anyway. And but I've got a couple other friends and people who've experienced some tough stuff, and they would like to be interviewed. And I have a social worker lady who's she's like a social worker on steroids. She's got a PhD. She's a supervising coordinator for a bunch of stuff. She can help me get, now that I've suddenly lost my job because they decided to pull the plug and go out of business, even though they're still there, I suddenly realized, I should probably, get healthcare. Anyway, she's the lady who can get me healthcare. She can get me a freaking weed card. I didn't know that they're like giving ketamine to people for PTSD, like legitimately. I've never tried ketamine, but she's like, I can get you some ketamine. I'm like, holy smokes, that's crazy. I just might try some ketamine. Maybe I'll make a video about it. I don't know. Anyway, I was thinking, dear Joe Biden, you want to help your ratings and your popularity and your country and you want to generate tax dollars and help out a lot of the people suffering PTSD from a terrifying experience. Everyone having had their own unique, terrifying experience. Anyway, What if today, right now, Joe Biden, you legalize weed? It's time. Legalize weed, Joe Biden. And make it clear that if you're in a FEMA facility, if you are being housed after some sort of disaster and tragedy, you are permitted to use cannabis to treat yourself for your PTSD, right? Wouldn't that be cool? It doesn't. And I was reminded by a friend, while not recommending inhaling particulates, because after a fire, that's obviously perhaps not the best advice, but nevertheless, what if, Joe Biden, you legalize weed right now? Because it is kind of weird how, it is one of the best ways to treat PTSD, and it's the one thing that'll get you kicked out from your room. Also, I'm not allowed to cook in your room, not allowed to have a microwave, not allowed. It's just weird. You're not paying for your room, so you don't know how long you can stay there, if they're gonna kick you out, if they have the right to kick you out. It's all weird anyway, and it's all, I guess, temporary. What we would all like to know is how long we're gonna be able to stay in said place, said X place. I have no idea. Anyway, if I ever become a politician, I'm gonna understand disaster relief. Woo, I tell you what. Anyway, and I'm trying, I think we'll see. I'm gonna try doing a couple new kinds of content because I'm stuck in this room by myself, nothing to do, head spinning. I should read a book, right? Yeah, but I'm gonna read a book out loud, and I'm gonna read a kid's book out loud. I picked How to Eat Fried Worms. That's right. I think I'm gonna read a book on my channel, and that's gonna be it, because I ain't got nothing else to do in my room. So, yeah, there's that. And then I just bought some basketball and football cards, and because that's kind of a normal thing for me to do, and even though it doesn't make any sense to do right now, I did lose a bunch, so I might just do opening packs of baseball cards. That's a certain kind of content that's out there. There's a lot of content of people doing that. Another content thing that's interesting, I've been talking to some National Guard. There's National Guard guys all over the west side. That's really weird, kind of eerie. Of course, they're nice people. There's some station at the front of my hotel. That is just weird. But they didn't even know. On YouTube, there's people that just get MREs. They 100-year-old MREs, 50-year-old MREs, from different ones from around the world, different wars, and they open them and try them. And these soldiers had no idea that content existed. Anyway, that's one of the funny things out there on YouTube. So what else? Yeah, and I got some really good people lined up to do interviews with, which I think are going to be good. And I like how, thank you guys. My friend Adam, some of you donated money to his Venmo, and that's hella cool. He just started a GoFundMe page today, and he's got friends back home that are gonna reach out to help him. But anyway, so that's great. His story's getting better all the time. I'm gonna keep doing stuff like that. Of course, I still hope to get some support from you, but it's not just about any one of us. Also, on that note, I mentioned if someone wanted to give a car to somebody, instead of selling it, if someone wanted to give me the money for it to give to somebody, but then I thought, people have been donating money to me. So when it gets to a certain threshold, another couple $1,000, I'm just going to realize, that enough has been given to me to equal about the value of my car, at least the low book value, minus $1,000 or $2,000. And I might just start looking, after a couple more $1,000 comes in on Venmo, I'm going to start to look to give my car to somebody who really needs it. Start looking for who I might give it to, let them know it's coming, and I'll make a video maybe of giving a car to somebody who really needs it, and you'll get to enjoy seeing that. Normally it would not be a good deed to tell people about the things you're doing that are like good deeds, but except in this case, it's with your money, so I have to do it. Anyway, I got lots of stories. I got a lot more stories. Let me finish the one I was telling you before that that overbearing investor guy. Not even a hotel manager, just an outrigger investor guy running around telling everyone what they can and cannot do. Interrupted me when I was 2 feet away. Like if I just moved over 2 more feet, I could have done that video. Like totally uncool of him anyway. So the first time I rode a bicycle across the United States, long story short, I got to Houston, hooked up with Starship. They brought me out on stage in front of 400,000 people. And I said a few words. This is all at the end of my last video. And then, okay, so Craig Chiquiso, the guitar player, was super cool to me, gave me his room. Brett Bloomfield ends up giving me $40 at the end. Anyway, the reason I know it was 400,000 people was reported in the news, but that was the largest concert Starship ever played. Okay. The reason I know that is Mickey Thomas came and sat at my table as I was a waiter working nights, head waiter at the Hula Grill, and Mickey Thomas sat at my table with his wife. Right now, check this out. The lead singer of Starship, Mickey Thomas, and his wife first kissed on that night. Right. That fateful night that they brought me out on stage. He also told me that was the largest audience they ever played to in his entire career with Starship, Jefferson Starship, whatever. And now he and that woman were married, and they had a 4-year-old, his backup singer, right? And she met me, remembered me, and so here I am waiting tables on Mickey Thomas and his wife. That night that I was on stage with them, met him in Houston the summer of '89 on the 4th of July at the Houston Freedom Festival. It was the first night they kissed. So cool. Anyway, how cool is that to have? I mean, really, there's only like 4 people that are witnesses that remember me going out on stage in front of 400,000 people, and it's all the members of that band. Then to have one of them at my table to reminisce about it with the backup singer, which is one of the other, well, there's 6 people that might have a memory of it anyway. That was cool. So that was the ending of that story. There's a little more to it that I might tell about on a Netflix special because it's a little bit funny. It's a little embarrassing. Yeah, I got stories. So that all happened before I ran into the drummer Leonard Skinner, whose tape I had on me. Anyway, and I got so many more stories. I'm so glad to have people that want to hear them. I was trying to arrange my house so that I could write a book, because I'm not a writer, I'm a storyteller. And so it's just really hard for me to write these stories and to be able to tell them, to have an audience that wants to hear my stories. Holy crap, I got so many. Rode a bicycle cross country 3 times. Oh my God. And and there's just a lot of, there's a lot to tell you about. And so much. And I've served over 1 million people in restaurants and interacted with so many people, had so many conversations. There's just a lot, there's a lot there. So thanks for letting me tell you the story about Starship bringing me out on stage in front of 400,000 people, and that incredible, weird, interesting ending. And what else? And of course, I'm working on a comedy routine. So I'm gonna read a book, doing interviews. I'm gonna open packs of baseball cards. I'm gonna do comedy routines. These are some of my new kinds of content on the All Good Things in All Good Time network. It's kind of like a network because it's so many little tiny things. Anyway, yeah, life is good. So good. Oh, and don't forget to buy my friend's book. I have no sponsors, and I'm not making any money from YouTube. The only income and support I'm getting for my disaster relief and my YouTube channel is from you guys on Venmo at Craig-H-Bradley. So, and I think on the Cash App, I think it's Goofy Silly Funny. 2 L's on silly and 2 N's on funny, and I think 1 F on goofy. But that's my Cash App anyway. I had to figure out the Cash App real quick so I could pay a comedy club, so I could pay for time. There's just 2 places in LA where you can pay for time on stage. Anyway, that might be something I try to do in my comedy club someday when I someday have one. Oh, and shoots, bruh. Where is it? Today I got a massage. First time I've ever had a massage. I know I'm supposed to love myself more, pay for massages more often than never. But check this out. Let's see here. Uncle T, Terry Chu, 808-280-4900. If you need a massage on the west side of Maui, especially the west side, this is your guy, man. Uncle T, 808-280-4900. Here's his, here, is that visible? Let's see here. I don't know. But I gave you that's his card. Anyway, I don't know if you can see it. My eyes are getting fuzzy because I'm old. Anyway, I told him I would recommend him. So when you come here, call that guy. Get a massage from him. It's otherworldly. He combines a lot of different things. Frequencies, lomi, whatever. Crack some bones, great time. Okay, all right. What else? Okay, so, and an update on the west side. My God, sorry for not telling you already. On the west side, what's going on? I drove around. They closed up all the, at the Pili Plaza. There's no more resource center there, but there is one at the park still. S-turns, looks like they're in there for the long haul. They just got solar panels. There's massages going there. There's food. There's resources. Looks like they're going to be there for a while. There's still resources in Hanakauai, but that might fade. Apparently they were giving some free phones away at T-Mobile. There's lines yesterday. I didn't know about that. I don't need a free phone, so. God, man, someone's got a pretty banging system, man. Freaking 500 yards away. It's banging. So, yeah, I don't know. God, sorry. I'm a little frustrated. It's been tough. The other side is just so sad. And there's no internet, and I can't upload, and I can't communicate, and anyways, I don't know what I was talking about. Oh yeah, so what else have I learned? Oh, I've decided I'm gonna go check out my place. Apparently, if I give my ID, I can go check out my place. I got an N95 mask to do that. So I think I'm ready to do that. I haven't heard about really anybody that's passed away. Still waiting for these huge lists. That's gonna be no fun, obviously, right? So yeah, that's the next phase is like finding out who died, processing that, going to the house, seeing if there's anything I recognize, whatever, did anything make it. We got a lot of stories about things I lost, actually, and I feel like that's going to be really healthy for me to tell these stories. Be like, one final goodbye. Let me tell the story about the thing that's gone forever. Like that story. Oh, so the story I told about going on stage with Starship and Craig Chiquiso and all that. I found 2 pictures, not the 2 better pictures I pulled away, but there's 2 other pictures of Craig Chiquiso, and one of me with him of the T-shirt that burned up in the fire that he gave me, and yeah, anyway, so that's kind of cool. A little bit of proof from that day, that strange day when I was brought out on stage in front of 400,000 people. I said a few words. Anyway, thanks for watching. All good things and all good time. I got a whole bunch of other stories and a lot of other subjects to talk about. But here's a quick one. One of the subjects I will be talking about are ideas that will make our country a great place or better or whatever. Lots of them. I have like 10, 20, 30 ideas. One of them is just kind of here, everywhere, all the time, and in your face. Like we plant plants and we grow plants everywhere, right? We landscape. We fertilize them. We trim them. We clean up after them. We water them. We use these resources. We pay people to do all this, right? And none of these plants that we do this with everywhere, none of them feed us. None of them are food. They could all be things that produce food. I mean, for the most part, right? And without any different amount of resources. Here, it either happens by accident or it's planned. Like sometimes in a public parking lot, there'll be banana trees with bananas on them that you can pick and eat, right? And of course here everything grows easily and all that, but everywhere there's something that will grow. And like my mom's whole retirement community, right? What if there was just blueberry bushes everywhere instead of some random shrub that doesn't produce food anyway? There's more to that idea, but that's part of it. And it just seems so simple. Like whether it's a city, a town, a university, a retirement community, a state, anyone's front yard, whatever, all this landscaping of things that you can't eat from, whereas, it would be almost no different if it was something you could eat from, right? Anyway, so if I was president, oh, dang it, low battery. So if I was president, that'd be the kind of thing, I'd like to suggest. There's more to that suggestion. I'll explain my second half to that idea later. But that is one of the subjects I would like to cover. How to make our country better, and all that good stuff, and an interesting and then funny story. I got some funny stories. Oh my God, and stories I'm developing, working on. Oh, here's one idea I want to do for comedy. I'm just gonna tell you the idea because and it comes with a small story. So, of all this year and a half I worked at this killer restaurant right on the beach, most beautiful view ever, called Waikoko, right? And in the year and a half, as a breakfast waiter, I had one bad table, like where I was guilty of just being a bad waiter. I forgot to order someone's food. Okay, all right. So whose food did I forget to order? Bert Kreischer's sister. Happened to be Bert Kreischer. When I got the credit card at the end, I was like, hey, must be cool having a name that's associated with the cool comedian. And she's like, oh yeah, that's my brother. And then I didn't put it together, but she was with her niece, which means that could have been Bert Kreischer's daughter, and I didn't even make the connection. I wasn't that smart, which would have been fun to uncover as well. Nevertheless, Bert Kreischer takes his shirt off on stage, and stuff. Well, I got one joke where it would compel me to take my shirt off. Okay, here's what I want to do. I want to get some of that Maui Babe tanning lotion, because I'm a white boy. Just put it on half my body and see what those results are. How well does that stuff work? All right, maybe even put it on half of my face on one side and then the other half of my body down here. I don't know, but it would force me to take my shirt off on stage. It'd be like a Bert Kreischer joke. God damn, there is a fucking person hundreds of yards away with the system so loud they just gotta play it, so I gotta walk away from it, and it's 200 yards away. Anyway, so yeah, that's one Bert Kreischer joke I'm working on, where I take my shirt off and we see how well Maui Babe tanning lotion works. The kind that stains your skin with kukui nut oil. Anyway, so that's one idea I'm working on that I've thought about for a long time, because I've always wondered, how would it look? What does that stuff do? And it would be best if it was on half your body, because then you could know exactly the effect. Anyway, so that's something. That's something for you. There's a little funny thought for you for the day. Maybe not funny. Maybe just gross. I better work out, make it less gross. Yeah, that's what I'm doing over here, working out, using the uploader and the downloader, and listen to Tupac Shakur. Did you know of my 550 videos, one of them shows off Tupac Shakur's West Coast High School? Yeah, you know about Tupac Shakur's West Coast High School? Have you ever seen that little video, that cute video of him as a sweet boy at high school at Mount Tamalpais? Anyway, that's one of my 500 videos. They all of them have a colonel in there or something, and that one is the colonel in that one that's Tupac Shakur's high school in the foothills of Mount Tamalpais, and right down the street from the bookstore in Mill Valley. A very cool place. Anyway, it's just amazing how loud that is. All right. Hope you're all having a great day. Thanks for listening and watching. I can't believe you nice people want to watch this show of mine or whatever. I'm going to try to do podcasty things. I might interview people intensely at first, just hearing their story, and then pull the camera back Joe Rogan style, and then do like a conversation, right? Kind of more Joe Rogan style. But first, we'll start out with them telling their stories and all that. And I'll try not to interrupt the person who's like, stop interrupting him. I'm thinking, hey man, it's my first interview. Just be nice. I'll get better at it, I promise. Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry if I interrupted. I'll try. I'm a terrible listener. It is true. I'm not a good listener. I almost had a girlfriend dump me, saying you're a bad listener. So, and my friends have been teasing me about that ever since. All right. Love you guys here at All Good Things and All Good Time. And remember, if you're thinking about doing harm or crime, do less. Stay on that couch. Don't do shit today. Play some video games. Drink some beers. Whatever. You know? Yeah. Don't do crime. Don't do harm. But that doesn't mean you can't break rules. I recommend breaking some rules today. Don't break the law. But if there's a rule out there, break it maybe. Because that's fun. It's American. All right. Love you guys. Aloha. Gotta hide that fat chin of mine. Okay. All right.